Right, I'm going live on YouTube.
Okay, I'll get the window up so I
You're
can
probably going to
see.
get the end of my hummus chat.
That's all good. People love hummus chat.
People do love hummus. People liked my pitta vape last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still hitting that pitta vape.
You can definitely vape all kinds of stuff in pitta. That gets volcanic once it's fresh out the toaster. I reckon you could do dabs off a freshly toasted pitta.
Neatly. So.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm just logged into the chat, and we've got Bland Steve there chatting to Zoticus.
Paul B has arrived in Zoom. We didn't say hi to Paul. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Paul. How's it going?
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. How are you? How was Christmas for you?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Me and my honey just hung out. It was just the two of us.
Nice.
We just hung out and we opened presents the day before and slept in the day of.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I went out for a walk with my mum on Christmas morning out to the park without Miles, the dog. So it was just me and my mum walking in the park with a bottle of champagne at like 10 in the morning, like just drinking champagne in the park. I was like, if you can't do this on Christmas Day, when can you do it? But it was very nice, actually. And there were a few families there with parents looking very jealous of our champagne. So yeah, it's pretty good. Awesome. Christmas for me too. Yeah, very nice. How was yours, D?
It was good. I had my girlfriend round who's in my bubble, and we saw my mum as well briefly, and that was nice. And we shared champagne, which was cool. I had probably a little bit too much champagne. My dad's gift to me was 2 bottles of champagne.
Nice.
So that was good. But I'm like a child, so I have most of it with orange juice as Bucks Fizz.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really like. I prefer Bucks Fizz to regular. And it was the first year without my grandmother, because I've spent Christmas with my grandmother since I was a little kid. So it's been 28 years. And it's not because of lockdown. She died this year. So there was a lot of like trying to carry on to her traditions. And most of her traditions are food based. So I essentially cooked a huge meal. Like I was in the kitchen all day just cooking and jumping between the kitchen and the garden because I had the smoker going. And I made a hot smoked salmon, and I don't eat chicken, but I made my flatmate a chicken, which he really liked. He was a surprise last minute addition to the proceedings because he couldn't go back home to his parents because of tier 4. I keep calling it tier 5.
A tier 5's coming, apparently. They're inventing new tiers as they go along.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, I invented tier 5 in this chat.
Honestly, I just read that today, that apparently tier 5 is just around the corner. So, you know, literally just coming up with tiers as they go.
Yeah.
I know Zoticus had a good Christmas because he's got this new contraption that we've looked at a few times here on these live streams.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What's it actually called again, Zot?
It is made by Taffy, and it is, I think it's pronounced the bully or the bulle, as it has like a apostrophe E. I haven't got any confirmation on that yet.
It's pronounced bowel.
Yeah, and then the upgrade version is the bowel movement.
That's the battery-free option.
You gotta clean that bowel.
You gotta make sure you clean it, or else you'll get an impacted bowel.
That's right. Last thing you want is a plugged up bowel. That's what last thing you want.
Well, I'm sure they make plugs of some variety for that.
How do you like it, Zot?
Oh, I love it. I haven't used another vape since I got it. And I actually got it Christmas Eve at 1 p.m. And I ordered it Christmas Eve at 3 p.m. on the East Coast.
Wow.
So I actually got my vape shipped
That's
to
impressive.
me. Very impressive. Like, everybody I tell, they're like, that's insane. I've never gotten a vape that quick. Mind you, I'm a little bit close to Toronto, Ontario, and Michigan. I'm not too far, but it's the fact that like with the Christmas holidays, like you think that it would be like delayed at least like a couple days. Nope. Like I checked it was FedEx at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just like, oh, your package should be there in a half hour. I was just like, wait, what?
Did I order something else?
Yeah, right. I was like, what else is showing up?
You got to love FedEx. They do absolutely smash it when it comes to fast delivery. I think they've got their own planes. That's what one of the guys told me once, that the secret is they've got their own planes. So where most of the other courier companies are like booking space on passenger jets and cargo planes, FedEx can leave it right to the last minute and just drive their shit up to the airport and get it on the plane. So yeah, worked for you. So how is I think it's the Bole, is it? Or I'm not sure, to be honest. How is it?
We're just gonna call it the Bole for now.
Yeah. And you're enjoying it, are you?
I'm loving it. Like I said, and I will say this again. I have not used the Dynavap. I have not used my Sticky Brick Junior, my Sticky Brick Run. Any of my Dynavap, my 2019 Phantom, which you all know I love and hold dear to my heart, and my 2020 M. You know, all of those vapes have been out of commission, and I'm excited when my Tiny Mite arrives here. I'll have something to compare it to. But like even the Mighty, like this kicks the Mighty's ass.
Really? So it's a big hitter.
Is a big hitter, and it's a quick hitter. You can stuff as much as you can in the Mighty, and you could vape it quicker than half the time you can with a Mighty Bowl, I'd say.
We're already getting some questions in from Martino, who says, is that vape straw plastic or metal?
It is metal.
Yeah.
This
okay.
is silicone, and this is acrylic. That is the only part of the vape that is plastic, and the only place that is silicone.
Everything else, I think you can buy a glass cup for it, can't you? I remember seeing something.
So you can't buy it yet. Okay. They're in prototype of making one. Okay. Jerry from Think Tank has one of the prototypes, and they're trying to push interest to see if people actually want it. And I actually messaged them last night. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I need a handle. Like I used to be an alcoholic. I used to love beer steins. So like it just feels right nowadays that like have a handle. Even you're not supposed to put alcohol in acrylic because it will slowly eat at it. If you guys didn't know that, some people in the FC form don't know that.
Right. And then Martino also says, is it conduction or convection, do you reckon?
It's convection.
Nice.
Purely convection. The closest that I've experienced to pure convection, like in my vaping history, like out of all my vapes, like this feels true to it. And what I like about this is normally vapes have the heater on the bottom. The heater is on the top there, like in there. I be able to see that.
Interesting. So it's drawing the herb in from the top and then coming back up.
Got these little crucibles that are ceramic, just like the Ghost MV1.
Nice.
And I find you could really pack just about any small or big bowl in it. Really, I've done microdoses. I filled to the point where I would pack the Mighty up, and within like minutes, it's gone, vaped, and ready for a new bowl.
So the sort of structure of it, where it's also a cup for water, as you got in it there, like is the intention that you vape and drink at the same time, or is it just like it's two different things but just in the same package?
It's two different things. Like okay. the cup, you can order it without the cup and still 100% have the exact same vapor that I'm having. The cup is not needed. It's nice, and it adds. I think the cup is needed just because, like, stealth. Imagine being at the park, or hey, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're trying to stay away from that glass of wine a day, but yet you don't want to be impressionable to your kids. You could put this on your counter. Your kids will think that it's just a normal glass. Hell, the other day somebody thought it was a coffee grinder when I was talking to them. So like. if you don't know what it is, you won't know what it is. So it's very stealthy, especially with the handle glass that they might come out with next year. Looks like a blender. So if you just put that on your countertop, nobody's gonna look twice at it unless they're like, oh, that's a vape. No one's gonna say that.
Also, you know that kids aren't going to go to school and start telling people like, "Oh, mummy's drinking out of a special cup." They'll just go like, "Oh, it's just they'll just think it's a wine glass." But if they go like, "Oh, mummy's like using a special thing and it makes her behave differently or whatever," like that's going to be like the parents will be like, "What?" The school will be like, "What the fuck is that?" Whereas if you sort of say, "Oh, mummy has a drink out of a cup at night," and they'll just be like, "Yeah, go and play with the apple toys or whatever."
Now you said the cup was the only acrylic part of it.
Is the only acrylic part of it. Everything else is I don't know what type of metal. You could go to the website and find out, but this part is acrylic. This is silicone. Everything else is metal. Oh, sorry. The O-rings to attach the cup are silicone too.
And how do you charge?
So you take the cup off and hold on. There is the charger right in there.
Okay. Micro USB.
Oh.
USB 3.0.
Okay, nice. That's cool. So Uber Dog asks, does it warm the liquid at all? And does it get warm?
Now, I'm not a good person to ask that because I'm in Michigan and it's winter right now. So I haven't had an issue, and I don't think anybody else has had an issue that I've seen in the SC forums. But I will take a note of that and keep an eye out.
How much did it cost?
$369 USD.
Oh, it's not cheap, is it?
No, I remember that. I remember that was the main off-putting factor because I was like, I didn't see how it was different from other things. If the performance is better, and I do like that top-down, I thought it was just going to be a conduction vape where they've added a cup and tried to tell you about the dangers of vaping with an unhydrated throat or something. But it does sound like it's actually kind of a cool device. And honestly, like even whilst I'm sitting here vaping without a glass of water, I'm looking at Zot with the glass of water and I'm like, God damn, I wish I had that glass of water.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, really, because I guess if you think about it, it needs a long pathway to cool the vapor anyway. Like a lot of vapes have long pathways and they're kind of awkward. Like it's either a whip or you need some sort of glass bubbler or something, especially if they're like hot, hard-hitting convection vapes. You generally have to put it through water or something. So this has got the long pathway, and then it's combining it with a glass of water, which you kind of need too if you're using a hard-hitting convection vape. So
This is true.
Herbs. When usually if I really want to taste something, I'll have the vape and then I'll instantly inhale a little bit of water, and I might do that wine tasting thing where you go you like suck air through and like aerate and hydrate your taste buds. And I stole it from an episode of that Heston Blumenthal show where he gets given like cooking challenges, and one of his challenges was to serve something in an airplane, like he had to improve airplane food. And what he did was nasal douches, where you would douche your nose with saline and it would rehydrate your nose and your palate and essentially make you able to taste things again. And it was the dry air on the plane that was drying out your taste buds. And what happens when you inhale vapor and you inhale hot stuff is it dries out your throat and it dries out your taste buds, so you instantly lose the ability to taste. And you'll notice sometimes when you've been seshing for a while, like nothing tastes of anything, like apart from like really strong crisps or spicy things or things like that. But then you start to drink a bit of water and you hydrate, and over time that does come back. But if you never get to that point and you stay hydrated, like you feel, I'm sure someone from Water Gang from the internet's about to meme, stay hydrated. Yeah, like if you stay hydrated whilst you taste it a lot better. Like I think it should be part of the, like, I don't know if anyone's come up with like a specific way of tasting things, but like with wine, when they're testing things for like competitions, everyone tastes in the same way, and there's like a wide spectrum of people trying it. But I feel like with terps, there should be a same established technique that we use when we're like trying an extract. It should be like specific device, specific temp, specific draw speed, and then it should be that everyone takes like a little sip of water and aerates it afterwards to give every single extract the fair chance. Because imagine if you try like 12 in a row, like that 12th one's not getting the same high level of hydration to your palate that first one's getting. So you're going to have a gap in between where you're like not quite making sort of clear judgments. And I think the Bowley kind of fixes that in a way. Like I feel like if you might get in the habit of like sip. I do like that you thought maybe that you'd vape and sip at the same time, which I think would cause, given the position of the mouthpiece, would mean that the water would go into your nostrils at a point when you're breathing in.
And then you snort it back out your nostrils and back into the cup. That's it. It's a recycler setup, you know, using your own
nostrils
nasal cavity as part of the recycler.
It's like a neti pot combined with a vape.
Yeah. So we've got a few more questions. Bland Steve wants a demo. So while you set that up, Zot, load your bowl and get it heated up. We've also got another question from Uberdog who says, does the area where the cup connects with the vape part get warm?
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Does the part where the cup connects?
Yeah, where the cup connects to the vape, does that get warm?
Like if you take off the cup and touch the bottom of it, will it be warm?
Yeah, does the body get warm?
See, yet again, I'll have to answer that question with it's Michigan winter right now, so yeah. I don't think I am a good what's the word? A good example of what that is right now. Right now, everything's cool. I don't get this. The only thing that hardly gets hot is the stem, but that's when I'm rapidly going through pot after pot. That's what the ceramic bowls are called. They're called pots, so you fill the pots.
Okay, yeah, and also Vaped Space says, isn't it someone from old Storts and Bickle and someone from Minivap teamed up? Yes, it is somewhat designed by Minivap, isn't it? It's like a collaboration.
George from Minivap and Armand something with Storts and Bickle was ex Storts and Bickle. He helped you can see on FC there's entire thread about it. We'll tell you the details, but from what I remember, the stores guy had to do with getting it medically certified, kind of like making sure the parts are medical of that quality, like stores products.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
But beyond that, I'm not sure what else involvement they both have.
And I've got a question. What about the cleaning of it? Can you separate that long mouthpiece and clean it?
Absolutely. Oh, cleaning this is so easy. Ready? Look at this. Bowl out. Look at this. Bam.
Nice.
You don't need to take any of this apart. Like I just rinsed this the other day for the first time with just hot water because I haven't been vaping a lot this holiday season. I've been trying to cut back. But just to give it a nice clean so I have a fresh taste for today, it's super easy to clean. And like even like the Crucible bowls, which I was very worried about getting stained because I have a bad history with ceramic cracking and just getting ugly looking, and these look beautiful so far. And I've been using the same two for every single bowl I've had for the past week now. I think it's been since Christmas Eve.
So would you soak that whole long piece there that you've got flat in front of you, just like soak it in ISO if you wanted to do a full on clean? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. You can soak it in ISO. I think they recommend, doing like a 12-hour soak when you finally can taste the difference, like in the stem.
Hmm.
which honestly I haven't really gotten that reclaimy taste, but I bet eventually if you let it gunk up, you'll taste it and when to soak it.
Yeah, or if you've been vaping some Tangy or something, then it starts to make everything taste like Tangy. But no, that's cool. I mean, I've got to admit, when I first saw it, I was like, "Who came up with this?" But to hear that it's actually like harder hitting than the Mighty, it kind of makes sense because it's in that Mighty price bracket. And if it's pure convection, then that already is added value for me. I'd rather have a pure convection vape than a Mighty. So if you're getting a pure convection hard hitting vape for the same sort of price, then that sounds really good to me. Uber Dog says metal boiling water is great for it, I suppose. Yeah, sometimes with those aluminium alloys and those kinds of metals, they can go a bit funny with alcohol. So it's good to hear that this is okay with alcohol. Martino says, about how many bowls or heat cycles per full battery?
Now that's the $1 million question that everybody's been asking me so far. And honestly, I can't give you an answer because I can hardly go through one pot of this, let alone two. I've been through, my max session is usually one pot. Anything more than that, it seems to really hit me, especially with the stuff I've been getting lately. But so I'll let you know in the future for sure. But I'm not that worried about it because the thing is, you could bring this out on the go and it's easy to charge it and whatnot. But like this is mostly going to be like my home vape. Like I'm hanging out at the house. Maybe I have a fire, in the back, just hanging out. But I don't think I'm gonna, unless maybe we get a travel like case instead of like the case it comes with. If we can get a travel case in the future, maybe it would be more portable-ish then. But right now, I mean, you could just technically just walk out of your house with a cup in your hand with water, and like no one's gonna think any of this. If you guys right now saw somebody walking down the street with this in their hand, you'd probably just think, oh, this is probably just a straw.
Yeah, totally. No, it'd just be like, that's some kind of weird cup. It's probably like a self-heating coffee cup or some shit like that,
Or something that tells you how many nutritional value is inside the cup you're drinking.
I just use yerba mate or whatever. The one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bland Steve makes a good point, and that's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. He says it looked like it was going to bubble, and that's what I thought initially. That's why I kind of thought you must like put it through the water or something, but I kind of prefer this design because there is that thing, it's called the Claudius or something, isn't it? That thing that does have a sort of water tank built into it. And it just, I've heard terrible stories about it because it just gets all like scaly and shitty and doesn't really work. So yeah, I think it's probably better to keep it separate like that.
I don't find the need for water. I get such tasty rips on just level 1 and 2. There's 4 levels. There's low, there's medium, there's high, and there's very high. And I always, and even the makers of it, I'm pretty sure they don't go past 2. I heard. I think 4 is for like concentrates because it says on the website it could go up to like 464 degrees Fahrenheit.
Cool. Uberdog asks, is that just Zotti on the honeymoon phase, or is it really better than the Mighty?
Now I can answer that. And I've said this very transparently. I've had this since Christmas Eve, 1 p.m. So if you guys want to get back to me in a month from now, come join us back on the vaping screen. I'll be more than happy to tell you if it's honeymoon. And hey, I'll have other vapes to compare it with. Like my Tiny Mite should be back from repair by then. So, definitely have other portables to compare. But like everything that I have right now, like Mighty, Dynavab, Sticky Bricks, like nothing compares to the amount of extraction, like how quickly and even with how little effort. There's almost like no learning curve for this.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit jealous now. And Uberdog also asks, did the man find his sticky brick or was it stolen off the back porch?
All right, so flashback to it was like 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week ago. I did find my sticky brick. I tend to squirrel things away sometimes when I'm uh under the vape. And I hid it in like the weirdest spot in my garage, and I didn't find it till like I think it was yesterday. Actually, I was getting a bottle of water. I just looked up and I was like, "Hey, there's the Junior." But thank you
Nice.
for your concern. I appreciate it. Much love.
Well, thanks very much, Zot, for showing us that. It's totally changed my mind on it, and that's great, isn't it? When somebody actually gets these things, you can make all the sort of decisions about it from looking at pictures and even videos. But when somebody who you know knows what they're talking about gets it and gives you their opinion, that is absolutely, you know, extremely valuable. So yeah, I'm glad to see that you've got it. And I've got something new myself. I'm just going to grab from behind here.
Oh boy.
This just arrived today. I've got the Pearl Neo. So this is, we were looking at this a little while ago. This is a dry herb device for use with pipes or bubblers. So it's kind of like a terp torch type thing, but, you know, portable that you can carry around and just plug onto any bubbler or pipe. Or they've actually got like an old school like tobacco smoking wooden pipe on their website for use with this.
Like a hippie pipe?
It's not even a hippie pipe. It's more like a sort of old man English pipe, you know, those,
okay.
those kind of pipes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I've just been going through some of the instructions, which have enlightened me to what this little thing was that was sitting in the package. Apparently, it's really important to make a good seal. So you put this over the top, and that then kind of makes a seal with whatever you're pushing against. So this is, let's see, it kind of glows when you push the button. There you go. You can see it glowing. So it's pretty powerful. It's got 5 settings. I'm on setting 3, which is where they recommend you start with. So I've got my honey here and this little bowl here. So it's actually a combustion bowl. I normally throw these away. So I had to go back to the bunker to get one because I have never used these things. I normally plug my vape straight into the downstem using an adapter or something. I was like, no, what am I going to do? But I managed to find this thing. So this is actually my first hit on this thing. I'm going to try this out. I've got no idea if this is any good. And hi, Max Vapor, who's joining as we speak. I'm going to give this a go now and see, let this warm up. Let's see how this hits. No, that didn't seem hot enough to me at all. Got hardly anything there. It says start on setting 3 and then go higher. So I'm going to go straight up to setting 5. And I'm not even sure if I want to keep this rubber thing on there. I might just get rid of that and go get it closer to the herb. See what's happening here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, nice. That's much better. Got actually a really nice hit from that. Like, I mean, I like the idea of, oh, that is actually really nice. I like the idea of like, I guess it, I mean, I guess it's aimed at people who already have glass or whatever, or maybe have a pipe or something. I mean, in a way, it's quite cool because it might convert people from smoking. If they're used to smoking, they get one of these, they can use all the same things that they've been smoking with. It
You
says,
could put that in a sticky brick, I bet.
yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Yeah. So I'm just reading some tips here on their website, which actually says, okay, I've been doing it a bit wrong. It says you can double click to preheat, and you can also take short cigar puffs until you taste and see vapor, then take a long, slow draw. So yeah, I wasn't really doing that. So yeah, I'm going to play a bit more with this as we chat, but
Does it get hot?
I mean, up at this end, yes, it's quite warm. The body of it, the sort of mod end of it, not at all. And I guess maybe you could take this off and put it. No, it doesn't seem like it comes apart. It is an e-leaf mod here. Apparently it's been adapted. It's got different software on there, definitely, because you don't see, you don't see the wattage or anything. You just got these 5 settings. So it's like they've taken a mod and they've written their own software for it, basically, and then they've actually attached this, so this doesn't come off. I thought when I first saw it that maybe you were just buying this part and putting it onto your own mod, but no, it seems like this is all one unit. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm kind of into it already, and I've only had like one proper hit off it, but yeah, I'm going to keep playing with it and see if I can get the technique down. But yeah, do let me know. Yeah, here we go. Uber Dog's telling me it's a couple of cigar puffs first to warm up the bowl before you rip it. So maybe I'll try that. I can't remember how much this cost. Let's just have a look. This was in some sort of pre-order deal. So I ordered it a long time ago and then it's only just come. Now it seems like they're shipping immediately. 18, oh no, minus 18 in stock. So it's currently back ordered for January delivery, it says, and it's $199. So yeah, the description is it's a simple, pure and innovative combustionless heating technology that delivers a smoke-free experience from any pipe. It is made from advanced technical ceramic known as zirconia, which is used in medical devices and in luxury jewelry and watches. So yeah, and they've partnered with e-leaf to provide a special power unit specific for the Neo. USB-C charging, which is cool.
Oh, that's good.
Replaceable 18650 battery, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And if you put it down, do you have to worry about it messing anything up if you put it down on a desk or something?
No, I mean, it stands up anyway, but if you were to put it down, it's quite protected by this thing. I mean, this gets warm, but it's not like warm where it's going to burn anything or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of, it seems like it's pretty protected by this. So the way this was sold was kind of like, this is a Terp torch, but portable, or this is like a portable flower pot or something like that. It's that kind of thing. So I'm not sure if it quite lives up to that because I didn't get that kind of super milky rip that you'd get from a flower pot on full whack. But then I didn't do what they said and do those cigar puffs. So maybe if you do that, it gets better. Let's give it another go. Not so great on that second hit either. Not really a flower pot by my reckoning at this point, to be honest. I'm certainly not in the Zoticus honeymoon phase, let's put it that way.
But that first hit was so great.
It looks like it's sort of bound to have a few issues.
Yeah, let's have a say that again.
It's looked like it's bound to have a few issues, I guess, with the compatibility with different things. Like the bowl from that device is quite deep, so maybe if there was like a shallower bowl or.
Well, it's pretty shallow actually. This I've got it with a tiny amount of herb in there. I don't know if you can see.
Maybe it just needs more herb.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it needs a deeper bowl, you know. So
Like a wider bowl, like less of a conical shape like this, and more of like a bowl shape like this.
yeah, well, I have got this, the J hook. So what I could do is just load that up with some herb down there and try that. That might work a bit better because this looks like it'd seal quite nicely over there, like that. See? So yeah, I might try that actually.
But yeah, but just because of the fact that the heating element is not mated to the bowl, just means that it's going to be there's going to be some problems, I think.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's actually the first thing it says in the instructions is like the seal is absolutely key. You need to make sure you get a good seal on your pipe.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a good seal on this bubbler with the herb bowl. So I'll try it on this J hook. It might be better.
Because sucking a bunch of room temperature air in, you're going to lose so many degrees of heating. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing with a flower pot. It's like cranking out like mains power heat. So you can afford to lose some of that. Doesn't really make any difference. But when you're battery powered, and it's only a small mod, it's one battery as well. It's not, you know, that was the thing that made me think, maybe it's not that great. But we'll see. I'm loading up this J hook now. How are you doing, Max Vapor? Oh, I can't hear you.
He's on mute, probably.
Doesn't look like he's on mute.
no, his microphone seems to not be working.
Yeah, something's up with your mic.
How about now?
Yeah, that's
There you
it.
go.
Yeah, I was looking for the setting actually, so that's why I couldn't talk.
Okay.
But I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well. Just got back from a day in the bunker. An extremely busy day. Like people were busy buying shit on like Boxing Day and stuff, and I'm, you know, always kind of surprised by that because that's not what I'm doing, but it's great. Keeping us busy. Okay, here we go. Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, like it always looks a little bit precarious.
A
Like,
little bit fiddly, yeah.
I think with like a classic American like hand pipe kind of
Yeah,
thing.
don't they make a pipe that corresponds with the setting on there, the fitting?
I think so, maybe, but I feel like it's just the whole point of it is that you're supposed to be able to just like
Yeah,
friend has a bowl, like a
exactly.
you know,
I think that was kind of an afterthought because that silicone ring around the top, you know, like seems like something that was added later on in the design.
yeah. It's something that like I think it's more that like I think they maybe still thought it would work without it. And
Yeah.
then once they did it, they were like, this probably works on like one or two pieces that are a very specific size. But with anything that's like, you know, the cone shaped bowl, like it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
They may have designed it with the pipe and then the first feedback was like, I'm not using that pipe. So they had to come
Yeah,
up with
I
another
mean,
plan.
that's the thing. The
If
pipe.
the pipe's not perfectly round, it would never mate with that glass circle. So if it's even slightly off being a perfect circle, which it probably is, if it's a handmade bowl or whatever, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm going to share this image here. Let me see how I can do this. So I can show you what they're using it.
Oh, George, your microphone. George.
Oh no.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, jolly good. Right, let's, how do I share screen? There we go. Share screen. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, I don't know how to allow that.
Here, maybe I'll just send you the link and you can share it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
here we go. Hmm. Trying to figure out how we're going to get this thing working. It's awkward, you know. That's the thing. You want to be able to use it straight away. You don't want to have to find the perfect pipe for it. So yeah, it's this kind of pipe. You know what I mean? Now, how many people own this kind of pipe?
With a glass interior.
That's when I'm trying to look on FC, because when I initially remember seeing this, it was like, maybe I'm thinking of a different product, but it was like a very slender, like almost triangular shaped, like flat looking pipe. It certainly wasn't that one, but maybe I'm imagining it. I'm gonna go try to look now.
I saw another picture of one of those pebble pipes, you know, where it's like a little flat, like skimming stone that's got a bowl cut into it at one end. But yeah, certainly doesn't seem like any of the kit that I've got has the perfect fitting for this.
I wonder. The thing is, I don't really use combustion pipes anymore, so I got rid of all of them. But I used to have like a bunch of different sort of basic little combustion bowls that would have been perfect. I think from looking at about the size that it is compared to what I know the size of the combustion bowl for the honey's like.
Do they sell the pipes on their website as well, or no?
We'll have a look.
So this is the product that the vape enthusiast keeps in their pocket and takes with them to all their friends' house who still smoke,
Use
and
the
then
pipe.
you use it on their pipe. You don't have to have
Right.
your own.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not for your own use. It's to convince others to switch to vaping, I guess.
Yeah, that is the impression I got, that it would be handy, you know, if somebody owned a lot of pipes, then you could just say, hey, stop using that lighter and use this thing. But, you know, you'd want it to have that knockout hit, because you're not going to convince pipe smokers with a wispy cloud of vapor. You know, it needs to be thick and meaty.
And also,
So-
like, wait a minute, do 5 puffs.
Exactly.
And 4 puffs.
Yeah, that is a disappointment, isn't it?
Back to 4 slow puffs, then take a hit. Like,
And then you get an okay hit. I just did it. You know, it's pretty good, but you know, you've really got to get it right.
Are you trying now with a very packed bowl?
Yeah, I've got a very packed bowl. I've got the rubber seal on, and I'm doing the 5 pre-puffs. So let's try that.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, that works, you know, absolutely.
Yeah,
Very,
you convinced yourself. Now you're switching to vaping.
It's very, very dark as well. I mean, that almost looks combusted right on the top there, but it doesn't smell combusted. But yeah, so you know, the heat's there if you do it all right, but I'm not sure it's going to work for a lot of people just because of that whole kind of flimsy connection to the bowl and stuff, you know. It's a little bit complicated. People just
too many parts. Sorry, yeah, too many parts is always bad. People don't want more than one part to their vape. Even the diet is off-putting for some people because they're like, oh, I've got to have the lighter and the thing, and they like having just
one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like there is something to be said for that. Like and the same with dabbing. Like dabbing is off-putting for a lot of people, and that's why they want the Puffco Peak, because even though it is two things still, the carb cap and the rig, they feel a little bit more joined together. And even with the Puffco Peak Pro, they have actually addressed that even further, where now the carb cap stays inside the bowl, so it really does feel like one item that you're using for dabbing. It's like it all fits together, and you can put it down and knock it over, and you're not gonna lose a little bit of it. Like, I guess the only thing that you could lose from the Puffco Peak is the dabber.
Yeah.
But I know most people that I've seen dabbing just pick up the oil with their fingers unless it's sauce. Like, so many people just have like chattery style stuff, and they just pick it up with their fingers and make a little ball, and then they drop it in their bowl. Like,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that. It's not. It kind of makes me feel a bit funny when I see people like rolling their dabs around in their greasy, grubby fingers before putting it into their vape and dabbing it. You're a bit of a dabbing expert, Max Vapor. Is it? What's the etiquette on that? Would you ever get your fingers anywhere near some high grade extracts before dabbing?
That it's really like a strange question, because like the states is so vast, and some states are legal or medical, and some states are not. And so that brings me to my point. We repair Puffco Peaks that are out of warranty as a service. And so we get them all the time. And there's like kind of a design flaw in the Peak where the bowl like kind of leaks some oil under the silicone that surrounds the electronics and stuff. So once we take that apart, we always wear gloves when we first take them open, because there's always going to be some type of residue in there, and we clean it off. And the units that come from California and areas like Colorado and things like that, the paper towel with the isopropyl always comes back really bright yellow. And then the areas that come from the illegal states, like in the Midwest and things like that, like sometimes we literally have to return the unit unrepaired, because there's just pure black tar inside. So that question, to answer your question, I think it really depends. Like here, I haven't really seen shatter or things that I could even touch with my hand in years. But I know that those products are really popular. So I always use a tool. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but like, probably not. But
okay,
it's
I can see it. Yeah.
Something you can touch. So
right. Yeah, well, I've definitely seen peaks in oh, nice.
You guys might like that. That's UK cheese, actually. So.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen some absolutely hideous vapes as well, and that's not to do with the quality of the material that people are vaping. It's to do with a lot of them have just never ever been cleaned.
Right.
People often don't even consider that cleaning is a thing you might have to do.
So my favorite tool is this tool. It's made by Happy Daddy, and he's actually a retired now. He doesn't make metal stuff anymore, so these are probably extra rare or whatever. But if I ever lose this, I'll be really upset.
I want one of those so badly. I
love it. It was so good. Like, the scoop is the best shit. Even just for doing cooking stuff, like it's such a useful scoop. There's so many different kitchen powders that you could move around with that. And it's so handy for that. Like when you need to, when you're doing like molecular gastronomy and you need very precise amounts of a specific thing for doing some Hess and Blumenthal shit, and you need a little scoop, that Happy Dabby scoop is irreplaceable. And an old flatmate stole it from me, and it's really, really annoying. They
Yeah,
know
I'm surprised that he hasn't like licensed the design and they're just like 3D printing them somewhere in China or something. Because that is like nobody
Yeah.
makes a scoop like that, you know?
I think he's into cultivation now, so he's probably just doesn't care anymore.
Fair enough. I understand. So yeah, I'm loading up another bowl here. I'm kind of getting into it as I use it, but I'm not sure I'd pay. I don't think I'd want to spend $199 on it. You know, not because it's badly made, but because I don't really have an application for it. You know, I don't have a lot of like pipes or glassware. So it doesn't really work for me. I guess if you had a perfect pipe that really worked well with it, then yeah, it'd work for you. It seems like a niche area to me. What do you think, Dee, having seen my travails with it?
I'd like to try it, but I've always kind of been a little bit dubious of it. Like, I don't even like the idea of people taking it places and using it on places where combustion has already occurred, because the residues from combustion are concentrated compared to, like, if someone's combusted multiple times in a bowl and then you use that on it, you're going to vaporize everything. Well, not everything, but like your herb, but also you're going to vaporize all the stuff that's on the surface of that bowl. And I don't think that necessarily it's the best. And I mean, maybe they'll cover that in their instruction manual, or it'll maybe be explicit in the literature that comes along with it that the bowls that you use it in have to be clean. But if the idea is that to take it places and use it on other people's devices, then that's not going to be very likely that you're going to come across a clean piece everywhere. And if it's to you, I guess if it's like to convert you as a user that already has a whole bunch of like a collection of like hammers and pieces and stuff that you spent like, hundreds of dollars on, maybe even thousands, you might still want to use it, even though you've had to give up combustion. You might still want to use your favorite piece that you've had for 20 plus years or whatever. So maybe it'll be a good thing, but it depends if it works. It looks like it works really, really well, to be fair. So
Yeah, actually, now I've got the hang of it, and it is like five puffs, and then long hits. But make sure there's a seal. That is absolutely key. So yeah, I can see why it probably is an afterthought, but it's a fairly simple one. At least it's got that bit of rubber there to make a better seal. But yeah, it's definitely given me some really great hits, and I'm not sure there are many portable vapes that could give you that kind of big hit. The Tiny Mite is in that category, so I kind of got that base covered. But it is nice to be able to just plug it into a big bubbler and go. It's just that's the only option with this. You kind of need, like you say, you need something else, a pipe or a bubbler or something. But it does work really well with a pipe or a bubbler. Yeah, I'm interested.
I mean, how much is that's an e-leaf mod that you can buy separately? I think I'm not sure if that one can be detached, but I believe you can buy that mod. So
yeah, I'm going to look it up.
You're thinking, I'm thinking like $70 US, just for the lower portion of it. So that's really like a price they can't get around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
unless
you're
they
right.
design their own device around it, which maybe they should have done.
Yeah, I can't think why they wouldn't have, but yeah, I can see it. It's like £60 here in the UK, the same mod. So yeah, that's a fair bit of extra spend, I guess.
But I guess if they would have released the heater as like a 510 attachment on its own, they can't really guarantee a good user experience, if they don't have the custom firmware or whatever is loaded on there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm definitely not going to just chuck it in the drawer and forget about it. I'm going to play with it a bit more. It's given me 3 really big hits that I'm really feeling now. So that works for me. That's always a plus point. But yeah, it sounds like Zoticas is totally sold on the Bowl A.
All day.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't join before you guys were testing it out. I actually got one for a friend as a Christmas present. I don't really vape herb that much myself. I'm mostly a concentrate user, but he seems to be enjoying it so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He said it beats the mighty. He said he hasn't touched any other vape since he got it. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I think the one or two complaints were you only get like 4 to 5 pots or whatever you call them on a charge, and that you can't see you can't charge the thing without taking the cup off of it.
right. Okay. Yeah, he wasn't sure how many you get off a charge, so that's interesting. And that is true. He showed us where the charge cable goes. Yeah, I
Well,
didn't think of that.
Yeah, the indicator lights for the battery are also there. So if you have like soda or like something dark in the cup, you can't really see the lights on the unit either, which isn't really necessary, but you know, it is something that they probably should have thought about. But yeah, I haven't used it myself really. Maybe I'll get a chance to check it out in the next day or so if he decides to come back over here.
Didn't they say that you're not supposed to put soda in it? Like, I think the cup is.
They said you're not supposed to put alcohol in it, but
yeah, it said no alcohol. And I think I read one user on the forums mention that their unit cracked from putting hot liquids or something in it, like they were steeping tea or something in it. I'm not
right.
sure.
I mean, yeah, it's an acrylic cup, so I'm not sure I'd put tea in it to be fair, but.
Yeah, I haven't personally tested the battery life, but I had assumed that it was going to have a much longer lasting battery.
Yeah, because it kind of has quite a bulky like base there. I assumed that was plenty of space for you know a good bit of battery life, but it is pure convection, so maybe it's just using a lot of power.
Well, again, you know, disclaimer: I haven't personally verified any of that myself. It's just what I'm hearing, but
interesting.
I guess it depends on what power level you're using it or whatever as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll get the report back from Zoticus after a while. Zoticus says, I feel it depends on how long you draw. It is a powerful extractor. And apparently Jerry Stickstones was drinking warm tea out of it. Be careful, Jerry. Don't crack your cup. Well, that's about it from me, I think, because I've had these 3 hits on this thing and I'm running out of things to say here. But it's been really great to see all you guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Hope you have a great new year. Stay safe and all that. What are you up to, D?
I'm going to go smoke some eggs.
Nice. Egg smoking. Yeah, it's going to be a very quiet new year for me, I think, here, but that's the way I like it. So yeah, take it easy, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week.